What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Zoe with No Days Off DFS here to bring that NBA slate breakdown for the 4-gamer that we got today. Small NBA slate after the big one that we had yesterday. Hopefully you guys are able to make some money, and I know this is going to be coming out late in the day, but hey, had some stuff to handle this morning. We're going to go ahead and still break it down. I'm going to try to make this as quick as possible. 4 games, some injury news, of course, wouldn't be the NBA if we didn't have some news to pay attention to. Real quick, looking at the injury reports for today, Golden State taking on Orlando. Suggs is questionable after missing his last game, so definitely keep an eye out for that. And of course, Paolo Banchero, he is out, currently dealing with that injury that he has. Jonathan Kuminga is also being held out as well. Buddy Hield is probable to play. For Detroit, Cade Cunningham, he was questionable yesterday to play. I ended up being ruled out, so definitely keep an eye out on that. They could have just held him out since it was the front end of a back-to-back, so maybe Cade could be back tonight. Same thing for Sir and Tobias Harris. Both those guys listed questionable. Jalen Duren was questionable yesterday, ended up actually playing and smashed in his time playing yesterday. For Atlanta, Ricochet, he's dealing with that hip after his scary fall that he had the other night. And KP, he is questionable as well. Definitely pay attention to both of those right there because some more value and some stuff could open up from the Atlanta side of things if we can get that news. Boston taking on Brooklyn Nets. Nothing over here for Boston. Same thing over here for Brooklyn. It's the same old for both of these teams. And then the Memphis Grizzlies taking on San Antonio Spurs. We're going to be without Ja Morant over here for the Memphis Grizzlies. They got Zach Edey back. And then for San Antonio Spurs, Wemby is going to be out. And so is Castle. So definitely some guys stepping up in some different spots over here for them. We got 2 late games, but of course we don't have to worry about those. LeBron James is probable to make his season debut today after seeing Bronny James for whatever reason put into the starting lineup last time out for the Lakers. So yeah, I don't know what the hell JJ Redick got going on over there, but craziness. If you guys are new here, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button so you guys don't miss any of the sauce and stuff your boy puts out over here on the channel. And drop a like on this video if this video and my other videos or content help you guys win some money. And let's go ahead, let's get it done. Looking at over here at DraftKings, the site I play the most on the site. If you guys don't have an account, you want one, check the link down in the description box below so you guys get that deposit match bonus and join your boy over here on the King. All right, so first up, we got the Golden State Warriors. And the Warriors, of course, we know they got a shake up in the starting lineup. We're going to be getting Moses Moody and Will Richards getting the start for the foreseeable future. Moses Moody, coming off of a crazy game last time out, 33 minutes, 32 actual points, was red hot from 3. Can Moody keep that up? That's truly going to be the question that's going to have to be answered. Over here from the Warriors, really, I don't necessarily pick on the Magic too much with opposing guards or anything like that. Steph Curry, his peripherals, they're not necessarily there as much as what they used to be back in the past, but he's definitely putting up some crazy scoring nights. He would have to score a lot in order for me to really be focusing on trying to even play him. Not saying that he can't, especially depending on which one's going to be out there, if it's going to be Jalen Suggs or if it's going to be Black, Tyus Jones, something like that. I would definitely pay attention to that, but Curry will be more of a GPP stud to pay up for. Instead, I don't mind coming out here to the Jimmy Butler. This could be one of those games we could actually see Jimmy get up for. 8,100 is not a bad price tag for him. Same thing for Draymond Green. We know actually, with Kuminga not being out there in the starting lineup and watching them over the last couple games, Moses Moody actually shooting the ball pretty well. Will Richard, him actually getting pretty involved. The assist numbers seem like they might be going back up for Draymond, which we were so used to, and actually good to see. And also his rebounding as well with Kuminga not being out there. Definitely some better rebounding opportunities for Draymond Green as well. I don't mind coming to Draymond as like my lone warrior to take on the day. Podominski, with him coming off the bench, yes, he's going to play some pretty decent minutes, but you got to hope that Pod is going to go out there and have a decent shooting night. Definitely more of a lean right there for me at that position spot. Instead, I don't mind taking a stab at Moses Moody once again. Will Richard, of course, 4,500, not bad. He's getting the start. Depending on how he plays will dictate whether or not if he'll be out there for a long time or not. Then if this game gets out of hand, we could see some more run from him as well. Over here on the Orlando Magic side of things, of course, France pay up for him, but probably will have the Jimmy Butler defense on him. Desmond Bane, no matter how good of a spot this could be for Desmond Bane, I will say, he's still going to be a GPP option for me just because every time I have clicked on this man's name, I have regretted it. Just like I regret it whenever I play Evan Mobley, who goes out there and for whatever reason needs to be looked into because it doesn't make sense to me on how both times I have played him within the last week is some of the lowest shot attempts I have ever seen from this man. And then the next game, oh, he's shooting it. He's shooting. Doesn't make any sense. It truly doesn't. I really cannot stand Evan Mobley, just like I cannot stand Desmond Bane, but don't let my opinion affect you. This is a decent spot for Bane. Of course, no Paulo being out there, the usage is up, and I don't mind getting there. Now, the one spot that we've continuously attacked Golden State Warriors has been at the center spot, 5,300. Once again, for our boy, Wendell Carter Jr. As long as he's not in foul trouble, what is he? He's out there. He's putting up the production. We can see the boards. We can see him actually being involved on the offensive side, and he's giving us some decent defensive stats. Centers have played very well versus the Warriors. I don't mind a 5,300 Wendell Carter Jr. or dropping down here to Tristan da Silva, who is out there getting the start for Paulo. okay positioning spot. He can rebound the ball, he can play some defense, and he can actually shoot and score as well. Don't mind either one of these guys as value options to get from this first game right here. Not a must place, but definitely some decent option that'll let you be able to build, even though we do have some really good value on today's slate. Outside of that, Goga would be the only other person I would have some interest in, and then Isaac, he's seen his minutes come up a little bit, but not enough to really make me want to go there. Detroit taking on Atlanta. Of course, we need to know if Cade is going to be in. Same thing for Tobias Harris, Ashore, all those guys right there. If Cade is in, I wonder if they run him kind of like what they did Jalen Duren. Duren kind of played close to his normal minutes that he would play, 29 minutes, and was smashing. And I think if this game was not a blowout, could have seen more minutes for Duren if the game was not blowing out. So if Cade is 100% and he's good to go and no actual minutes limit for him, I definitely do not mind paying up for him here, going up against Atlanta, going up against some much smaller guards over there, Dyson Daniels, Nickeil Alexander-Walker. He should be able to take advantage of that with all the usage and everything that he has. Only thing we have to worry about is if Cade is not going to be coming back too rusty where he's going to be missing a bunch of shots or anything like that of that sort. If Cade is out, then Jenkins, we go right back to this. The kid has been showing that he is a baller, a hooper, and honestly, Jaden Ivey, you might be on the trade block to me, because if I can have him on contract versus you, I'd rather do that. No lie. So definitely pay attention to that right there. If Duren was for whatever reason rested, because this is the back end of a back-to-back, then we will be looking towards Paul Reed as a potential option. At 6K, he's not going to be a play for me if he's coming off the bench. I don't see any reason to do that. Instead, I would look more right here towards Isaiah Stewart at 5,600, especially if Tobias Harris is ruled out in a sore. That'll just be some more minutes that we could see for Isaiah Stewart. Same thing for Jalen Green, and a couple more shot attempts for Duncan Robinson, but we need to know if Asor and Tobias Harris are going to be out. On the Atlanta side of things, really great spot matchup for Jalen Johnson. Love it. The upside is there. He's stuffed in the stat sheets in all categories: rebounding, assisting, defense, and also with his scoring as well. 9,500, rightfully so as a stud. Definitely worth paying up for on the slate. If KP is out, and depends on what's going on with Okongwu as well, because both these guys are questionable. If KP is out and Okongwu is going to get the start, then of course we can look towards Okongwu. Opposing centers, whether or not if it's been Duren out there or not, have actually played pretty well going up against Detroit. I don't mind it. The numbers, DVP looks pretty good for that. But if both these guys are out, then we are looking towards guys like Guy down here as an option for us to get to on the slate. I definitely look towards that. We could probably see some more minutes over here for some of the other guys like Houston, Luke Kennard as well, would possibly another one that we could see some more minutes for over there. As far as the guards go, I definitely don't mind Dyson Daniels. It's been 43.2 going up against the Phoenix Sun. Hopefully, if we can get another crazy assist game and just stuff the stat sheet all across the board, I definitely do think he has some upside. And we have seen opposing guards versus Detroit play pretty well and okay. But if you want to come down for some value, definitely Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Just got to hope that he's knocking down those shots in order for him to truly be able to pay off the price tag. So I definitely wouldn't mind getting up a little bit more. Just go to Dyson Daniels if I got to choose right there. If Richard Chase is going to be out, sorry about that, guys. If Richard is going to be out, I imagine we're going to see some more minutes for Vic Krejci over here. He's been pretty integrated into the rotation as of late, and definitely know he's a pretty good three-point shooter whenever he actually can knock it down. Shoots it at a pretty high clip. So if he's actually going to be starting or something like that, or could see a boost because Richard is going to be out, I definitely do think that's another value option that you got to consider on today's slate. Of course, Wallace down here as well would be another option you can go to. Boston taking on the Brooklyn Shitters. We already know the top guys over here for Boston: Jaylen Brown, Derek White, Peyton Pritchard. They're going up against Brooklyn. They're pretty much all offense, no defense. Jaylen Brown, this could be another smash spot for him, 8,800. Now, I don't mind coming out here towards Derek White, who looks like he's finally turned it on over his last several games. A pretty good defensive spot where you can get some steals. He's already playmaking already. He's shooting the ball. Looks like he finally is somewhat in rhythm. I definitely wouldn't mind going towards Derek White. Peyton Pritchard, he's here as well. Back-to-back really solid games for him. Really relying on him going out there and scoring at a high clip. But again, he's on one right now. I definitely do not mind it. But both those games were at home. They were at home. That's the only thing I got to worry about that, especially for a high three-point shooter such as himself. Walsh is getting the start over here for them over these last couple games. Minot has gone to the bench. Walsh, I do have some interest right there if he's going to be, of course, still inside the starting lineup. That's another value option that you can get to on today's slate. Definitely, especially if like Guy is going to be not going to get the start or something like that. I definitely wouldn't mind just going over here, pivoting to Walsh. Rebounding upside. He's going out there scoring, playing some pretty solid defense. I definitely don't mind it. Pretty good fantasy point per minute producer when he's out there on the court. And then if you think this game somehow gets out of hand, but it's the Boston Celtics, of course, still missing their main stud guy over there. They have been lackadaisy sometimes in certain games. Then you're not going to want to look towards the Sam Hauser, the Garza, the Gonzalez. But if you think the game can get out of hand, then we are going to be looking towards some of those auxiliary pieces over here for Boston. That's only if the game was to get out of hand. On the Brooklyn Shitter side of things, Michael Porter Jr., of course, all the defense will be focused on him, but he's showing like, hey, I do this. I do. I mean, the rebounding numbers, the playmaking, all that stuff right now for MPJ, it's looking really, really good. And I'm liking what I'm seeing from him. Back-to-back 50 burgers for him. Granted, this is a comeback down to earth spot just because the defense should be primarily focused in on MPJ. I could see this being a really great spot for Claxton. Like I've said before, he has a very high usage out there. It's Michael Porter Jr., then it's him as long as Cam Thomas is out. He's getting a ton of shot attempts. He's also getting to the line quite a bit. In these games where he's having these really great explosions of a night, look at his free throws right there. This is a great spot for opposing centers going up against Boston. They have been giving up some pretty big games to opposing centers, especially rebounding wise. If he's on the glass, I know Michael Porter Jr. right now leads this team in rebounding chance. As much rebounds as that dude is just like pulling down a ton of boards right now. But Claxton, he's right there as well, right behind him. And I don't mind going to Claxton if I can't get up to Michael Porter Jr. or if I think the defense is going to focus more on MPJ. Instead, I want to get to one of those auxiliary pieces. Clowney, he's here. Of course, a lot of it is he has to rely on his shooting. Has to have a really great shooting night in order for him to get there. Don't mind it as another value piece, but again, if Walsh is starting, I don't mind just going over there to Walsh. Demin, he gets to start, but he really doesn't do too much with it. GPP option right there just because it's a mixing pot of what we can get. Same thing for Martin. They're splitting the time. It's really a flip of the coin on who's going to go out there and have the better game that you have to worry about. That's the only problem with those two right there. Zaire, Terrence Mann, they're low usage players, not really rushing to get over there to either one of those guys. But I will say, Daron Sharp, he's back. He's playing minutes. Minutes are slowly going up. Depending on if Claxton, Clowney, someone gets themselves into foul trouble, we can see more minutes for Sharp. And I definitely don't mind him, especially for making multiple lines, or I have to land right there at that 3,700 price tag, and I feel like I have the perfect lineup. I know I know he's not going to go get you a 0. That's what I would say to that right there. Memphis taking on San Antonio Spurs. Of course, no Ja Morant. We saw this before when Ja was out last time. They actually started, where is he at? They started not Scottie Pippins. Where are you at? Williams Jr. He got the start at point guard last time when Ja was out. If he's going to get the start, or just depending on, because they could start Cam Spencer, which I was surprised they didn't do this last time out. They could start Cam Spencer, or they could go ahead and start Cowart, who actually wasn't starting last time out. Whoever's going to get the start at the point guard spot, I don't mind taking a stab at them. They're definitely going to be some value over for them. This is a pretty good matchup and spot for Jaren Jackson Jr. Team to himself, all the shot attempts. Just got to hope he can give us something on the peripheral side of things. And by that, I mean his rebounding and what he can do on the defensive side without picking up ticky-tacky fouls. I like the upside. But my boy Zach Edey has been a pretty good fantasy point per minute player in the past. If he's going to be playing the minutes, I love the upside, especially because he's not going up against Wemby. No Wemby out here. Zach Edey could go out here and be able to crush and have a really great day. I like the upside for him. 5,900, decent value option at the center spot, especially if we're not going to have a Onyeka Okongwu we can go to, Kristaps Porzingis. Zach Edey makes some sense over there. But on the flip side of things, looking over here at the San Antonio Spurs, there's no Wemby, there's no Castle, there's no Harper. De'Aaron Fox at 8,300, really great spend-up option. Memphis is weak against opposing guards. This should be a shoe-in spot. He's showing that he's going out there and he is scoring it off the rip. But without Castle being out there, who's going to get those assists? None other than De'Aaron Fox. Love the upside, love the position spot for De'Aaron Fox. Same thing for Vassell, 6,500. We already know what some of these young Spurs can do whenever players miss. This is a prime spot for both Fox, Vassell, Keldon Johnson, and Sochan, who I think a lot of us tend to forget that Sochan is on this team as well. So I don't mind either one of those guys. Now, whoever gets to start at center spot, I do like them as well. Luke Cornett, I believe he got the start last time out, 28 minutes. He's also facing his former team. I don't mind the upside for Luke Cornett right here in the spot. Pretty great position for him to be in, be able to stretch the floor if he actually decides he wants to take some threes. He is someone that doesn't necessarily have to rely on being underneath the basket, can rebound the ball pretty well and play some pretty solid defense. So I definitely do not mind the upside for Luke Cornett as a potential option. Understand with Luke Cornett actually getting the start. Do not play Bismack Biyombo. Don't do that to yourself. Kelly Olynyk is going to be the backup center right here. And Kelly O has always been a great fantasy point per minute player. If you land down there around the Daron Sharp, Kelly Olynyk, it's a toss up for which one you want to actually play. Kelly Olynyk is playing, both of them playing backup. I don't think you can go wrong with either one of them. But depending on how your line goes, if you got too much of the Nets or you got too many San Antonio Spurs, maybe you pick one of the other ones like that if you were looking at it that way. But all right, that's going to do it for me, guys. Going to go ahead and get this video posted for you. Hopefully you guys were able to get something from this. Drop some questions or anything like that you have down in the comment section. Core, all that other good stuff posted to the Patreon later on. Good luck today. 4-game slate. Win some money. Touch some grass. Have a good day. Peace.